Okay, this video is going straight to the Zambians, specifically to the government of Zambia. There is a lot that needs to be changed about the country Zambia. Zambia is an independent country, is a sovereign country on its own with its rules. We are no longer the country that is still under the corona rule or a country which is a subject to any country on earth. It is a country on its own. If you have watched very carefully about the videos Wodemaya is, uploading right now, is publishing right now about Zambia, you'll find that there are so many errors in Zambia that needs to be corrected, not by any other Zambian, but by the Zambian government. Yes, the Zambians, they can also help the government of Zambia to correct these errors, but not with their own powers, but through their voices, to render their voices so that this thing can change. One time, Wodemaya came across a place in Livingstone where it was shown that the pictures of, David Livingstone, it was made so bigger and visible to every tourist than the picture of the real freedom fighters of Zambia. We are talking about President Kenneth Kaunda. If you watched that video, I'm sure you know what I mean. Wodemaya even asked the question that, why are you putting this picture on the front? This picture happens to be the reminder of people who made you suffer, who killed your ancestors, who violated the lives of your people. And this man, you still worship him, you still respect him more than the actual freedom fighters of your country. Why didn't you put the picture of this man by the name Kenneth Kaunda here on the front and take this picture backward? That was the question that Wodemaya asked. And there is one thing again. When he entered the Victoria Falls, he asked the question, who is Victoria, the Queen of England? Who had named this name Victoria? David Livingstone. Why did he name this after his queen? Because he was the first man to discover this force. Was it him who came to this force by himself? Was he the first man on earth to come to this force? No. There were some locals who lived here, are the ones who took him to this force. And he named this force after his queen in England, which was Victoria. And now it is called Victoria. What was its name before the name Victoria? It was called Mosi Otunya. Why aren't you promoting the name that was named by the locals who lived here before David Livingstone? But you are there promoting the Victoria Falls. These questions, if you were to ask many Zambians today, specifically to the Zambian government, I'm sure it will be a question that you will need some time to think. It is not a question that you will just rush, then immediately you give out the answer. You see what? Something really needs to change about Zambia. Zambia, we are still using so many, corona names. Those names that were put by our enemies, those names are the ones that we are still promoting even up today. Imagine the Victoria Falls that was supposed to be respected by putting the images of our heroes like President Kenneth Kaunda and his team. But we are there displaying the image of David Livingstone. Who is David Livingstone to Zambia? And to the other question again, who knows? Maybe it was David Livingstone who went to his people after discovering the Victoria Falls. He went back to his country and told them that, I have found people who are still blind there. We can go and begin to shoot them and take over their land. The person he might be the person who called his fellow white people to come and colonize Zambia. But we are still there promoting, no, David Livingstone, his images are all over. In our history books, his names are all over, not with bad names, no, with bad news, but he is more promoted by the real than the real freedom fighters of Zambia. Zambia really needs to change. This is what I just wanted to talk about, more especially this season, about Wodemaya's tour in Zambia. Wodemaya is exposing us to many things that we have been ignoring for some time right now. And we, according to the government of Zambia, to make sure that these errors are completely changed. We want the mindset of our people to change, to come out of that corona mindset that we are still stuck in. This is an independent country, and we want our country to be, we want our kids, our children to know the real history and the real heroes of their own land. My people, drop opinion in the comment section what you think about this. We move.